At World Parts Direct, we offer a massive selection of new, factory original, GM, and Mopar parts at guaranteed low prices. Need something that isn't made anymore? We can help you find the right part for any brand. If we can't get it, nobody can. There's even a next-day delivery option on more than 100,000 items. Visit worldpartsdirect.com or call 972-864-9777.
Hey, thank you, Craig. Control Craig. I don't know what we're gonna call Craig. Craig. Like I think of almost like a zoo crew, like a morning zoo crew, and Craig is like the producer. It's like, all right, boys, keep it together. And it's like, let's talk about the news. Be wary around the 504. It's a little iffy this morning.
Hey, what do you think about that, Craig? What do you?
Oh Lord. Well, I mean, hey, we're using an AI bot to record now because Riverside is incompetent, so we might as well embrace a little bit of our AI dictation. Excuse me, AI friends, total friends till the end. Don't watch 2001: A Space Odyssey. Let's not show them that. Instead, let's show them this movie. It's depressing as fuck.
I gotta tell you, this might be one of my top 1 or 2, maybe 3 movies we've watched on this channel.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. But if you're sad, if you're at any point in time, in your feelings, as the kids say, if you're feeling a certain way, I know a lot of people listen to our reviews and then go and watch the films afterwards. I know this because I've gotten emails, and by a lot, I mean 2. So hey,
hey, that's
close.
Enough.
Hey, that's enough. I'm not a math major. I don't know how numbers work. But if you're one of those people, pause before you go and seek this movie. Make sure you're feeling really, really good, because this movie is bleak as shit.
Yeah, you need to be strong in your feeling. You need to feel indestructible, basically.
It's
a very destructible movie.
Do some shrooms before you watch this be in a good headspace, you
gotta be.
Maybe microdose. I don't know.
Yeah, you got.
We jumped back to 1951. It's been a hell of a week. Before we talk about 1951, and before we get in our time machine with our friend Craig here, Signs of the Apocalypse. Lord, this is the last week of school for me for the year, and the last week is miserable. It is nonstop nonsense and annoyance. Today we had field day, which is why are we having field day for high school kids? Why are we infantilizing these children? This is so weird. But cool. And then
I've never heard of that.
Because no high school does it. Anyway, I'm gonna rant and rave about. That's my sign of the apocalypse.
Right.
Education state in America is in the trenches. There you go.
Yeah.
If you want to help out, hey, if you're looking for a way to help, maybe go work at a school. They could use them. All hands on deck. These kids are fucked, and it's not looking good.
Oh wow.
It's not looking good, especially for us, because these are going to be the kids taking care of us in 20, 30 years. Whenever we're almost dead, and I'm I can't get in my mind that I'm going to be fucking between limbo between life and death, and some schmuck that reads at a second grade level that got a high school diploma because we didn't want him to feel bad. You got a high school diploma on vibes. It's I don't even think a high school diploma means shit. I don't think a college diploma means shit. Just educate your
Uh,
fucking self because god damn it, why not? Like what is
I
the
will
like
say,
what is the
mm,
incentive to not educate oneself?
yeah, really.
That's the
I
question I ask kids. I'm like, okay. They're like, well, I don't need to go to school because I'm going to be HVAC. Cool. Why not be a really fucking smart HVAC dude? What is the
oh
problem
yeah,
there? Like, it's the same thing. I give them shit whenever they're like, well, I'm like, have y'all ever listened to Blue Oyster Cult? No. Well, you should listen to Blue Oyster Cult. Y'all like a lot of
yeah,
goth music and shit. Well, you should see where it started from. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't want to. Well, and then I literally have told them I feel like an old man yelling at clouds where I'm like, you were born in the time of the internet. Like you don't have the
yeah,
excuse that we did where it's like, well, I didn't know about it, so I had to like go find it. Like, I didn't know about fucking Tool and about Alice in Chains, about like any like about even just like as they would say, like the not even the deep into the iceberg, like barely into the iceberg shit. Until I got
yeah,
much older. Because you had to
yeah.
go and search for that shit.
Hmm.
It's at your fingertips. Like you literally it's a
Yeah,
Google search away. You have no excuse for having poor taste. Educate yourself, god
exactly.
damn it. I'm yelling at clouds. Most of our millennial listeners probably left. This has been over 15 seconds. Heyo. There you go.
Ah.
Let's talk about movies and shit. Before we do that, you left me with an assignment. Or wait, before
I
I guess I'm
did.
skipping over. Do you have a sign of the apocalypse other than just the state of education in America?
Honestly, I think a lot of it points to the state of education because, man, apparently that's been falling apart for a long time.
Ugh, yeah,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, now terrorists are going to get our money. So that's
Eh,
fun.
eh, yeah,
Domestic terrorists are going to,
yeah,
enjoy my money, I guess. Cool.
yeah,
Cool. They
yeah.
smear
The
shit on the
barely any
walls
money.
and I get to give them my money.
Yeah.
Groovy. I can't
Well,
fucking pay rent,
if it
so,
makes you feel any better, maybe this is the way capitalism falls. Which this
honestly.
movie tonight is a heavy indictment on capitalism.
Oh, yes.
there's some shots fired a few times, which I was happy to see in 1951. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
really.
someone's giving McCarthy the fucking finger. Like
Hell yeah, dude.
back at a time when he might actually get you fucking arrested. I mean, shit, it
I was
might now
about to
too. I don't know.
say, oh,
We'll
yeah,
find
I
out
think we're
every time we record. I'm always waiting for a knock on the door for someone to
yeah,
be like,
right?
"Well, so cross that bridge." I'm like, "Oh, you're one of the 62 people." Huh? Oh no, you found us on YouTube in the trenches. Uh,
Yeah, really.
speaking of
With
YouTube,
our
we just
opinions.
speaking of YouTube, we just crossed over 200 subscribers on YouTube, so that's pretty dope.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yeah, getting close to 100,000 views on just podcast episodes, which is crazy.
That
That means
is
a lot of people
crazy.
are listening to a
Wow.
lot of the episodes, which is fun. I like that.
That is. Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. YouTube is a fun place to be. I'm gonna try to spend some time on uploading some YouTube specific stuff this summer during my
Ooh.
break. I'm gonna try to. I was trying to play Magic the
Yeah.
Gathering today, and that was a fucking state of affairs that went nowhere
Oh,
fast.
yeah?
Yeah,
Man.
I tried to load it and the game had to update and then it update crashed and then the updater crashed and then I just gave up and said fuck it and I'm done. I'm done.
Mhm.
Done. I'm done. Speaking of being done, we are done with Riverside. Not that they ever had our endorsement, and I liked
Yeah,
Discord
really.
last time. Our friend Craig here does a
Oh, did it
decent
do good?
job. There's some spots and hiccups where like we don't, there's like it stops hearing us for a second, which is a little inconvenient that Riverside didn't have that issue.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. Just imagine that we said something controversial or provocative. What if it just all of a sudden has a little gap all of a sudden? Insert your favorite swear word there.
We said something so controversial yet so brave.
So brave. So brave. Yes, indeed, sir. So last week you left me with a movie to watch. Truth be told,
I did.
I didn't watch it.
Oh no, it's
I
such a
got
good
too
movie
busy.
too.
I got so busy. So it's on my
Well,
to-do
yeah.
list. It's on my to-do list for this week, but I thought it might be fun to give you one as well, and the next week we could, report back because
Oh.
I had chose some movies that are going to connect to the film that we're watching tonight, based off of
Oh,
the
very
cast.
cool.
So, have you ever seen Targets? which is 19. I think it's 1966. Let me look it up. Targets. It's a movie about a sniper. 1968. I apologize. And this is a Peter Bogdanovich, starring a very older Boris Karloff and James Brown. Not that James Brown, different James Brown.
I was about to get real excited.
Yeah, this was Bogdanovich's very, very first movie.
Oh, dang.
Well, yeah. I think his first movie. Maybe he'd done some other stuff before that. It's also produced by Roger Corman, and it's kind of like taking the whole idea of the Austin, Texas sniper, and kind of making a movie off of that. It's from 1968. My dad introduced me to this movie. So
wow!
There you go. Kind of didn't know if that's the first one for tonight is Targets. If you've ever seen that one. Next up is Little Big Man, Sam fucking Peckinpah.
Sam fucking Peckinpah.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes. Little Big Man, I believe starring Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one?
I have seen this one, yeah.
Okay, you've seen Little Big Man. Okay.
Where he's
1970s.
It's like an old man telling his story and how he was brought
Actually,
up,
it's
like,
directed
with
by
the
Clifford
natives.
Penn. Oh, I thought it was directed by Sam fucking Peckinpah.
Which one are we thinking of?
I'm thinking of the Dustin Hoffman. Yeah. I swore Sam fucking Peckinpah had something to do with this. I'm diving deep here. I may edit all this out just to make myself not look like a complete buffoon. But I'm trying
buffoonery
to see. Buffoonery is my middle name. His horse. What is Arthur Penn Awards and Nominations Legacy? Well, I'll be a son of a bitch. Well, either way, Little Big Man, you've seen it, so we can skip that one off the list.
Yeah.
Next one, Black Godfather.
Oh, I've heard of this one, I think.
Yeah. This is 1974, and it is a blaxploitation movie, which I know you're a fan of.
I love.
Yes, sir. Starring, well, you got all kinds of people. You got Rod Perry, Don Chastain, Diane Summerfield, Jimmy Witherspoon. It's about basically, it's kind of, it's a blaxploitation movie. If I go over the plot, it takes away some of the fun of it. You can kind of insert whatever memes you can think of. So Black Godfather from another 70s movie. I kind of went down a thing of late 60s and 70s movies. The last one for you to choose for is Ghost Warrior. This is an 86 movie. 1984. I take that back. Well, it says 86 on some other things, so fuck if I know. It's one of those movies that probably came out twice. Here's the summation. I've never seen this movie. Truth be told. Never seen it. I did watch the trailer of it, and it makes me want to watch it. And I believe after I describe it, it'll also be the one that you choose, and perhaps we'll both watch it and just talk about it and not review it, but just talk about it next week. I don't know. So, 1984, 1986, starring no one of any real substance, honestly. I can't. Or Charles Lampkin is the star who shows up in this movie as well. So here's the description. A deep frozen 400-year-old samurai is shipped to Los Angeles, where he comes back to life. Dazed and confused, he goes on a rampage, as you do. Can the female scientist and her colleague who revived him stop before it's too late?
Ooh, yeah, that sounds like wacky. It sounds
fucking wacky as shit.
Yeah, and it's 84, so 84, man, we're coming off of the 70s.
It almost seems like it's like, hey, ninjas were cool in the 80s, samurais were cool in the 70s and the 80s because Jim Belushi.
Yep.
Everyone loves a good old fashioned shipment gone awry, right?
Yeah,
that's a good plot device.
Well, and it's a fish out of water.
Yeah, fish out of water. It's like Encino Man with a knife.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, I love fish out of water stories. So that's one of my favorites. Absolutely.
So those were your choices. Targets, Little Big Man, Black Godfather, Ghost Warrior.
I think you were right on this one. I'm going to go with Ghost Warrior.
As you do. It is streaming on Tubi. Not an ad, honestly, Tubi. Give us some money.
I probably will watch Black Godfather also just because I have meant to watch that and I just never have. So
There
I'll
you go.
probably just because it's like one of my favorite genres. Is
It's a good time all
so
around.
it is.
A good time all around. Yeah, I have I'm gonna obviously sit down and watch Skeleton
Skeleton
Twins
Twins.
because I still
I
have not
recommend it.
haven't had time, but I will soon because school is out and one more day. One more day.
One more
One
day.
more day. One more day.
I didn't even consider like this is of course this is going to be a busy time for you. Like
It just depends on the year. It just depends on the
yeah.
year. Yeah, yeah. It's we have a new administration this year, so it's all like new ways of doing things, and so yeah, it's a lot of checking boxes and red tape and all kinds of things of the sort. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
I will definitely watch Skeleton Twins, and I didn't even watch the movies that we're talking about tonight. We're trying to squeeze in 2 recordings tonight. We're behind the scenes. I didn't watch any of the Highlander episodes or 5 until this afternoon. I've been
Oh, did you
like,
not?
I watched everything back to back to back to back to back. I watched like 7 hours straight of stuff on my phone of all places. But hey, I was
Hey,
basically
I mean,
glorified babysitting today, so I just had to be in a
well,
room and watch them. All right, well,
yeah.
I was
Oh
hoping
Lord.
one. I was hoping one kid would show up. 22.
22.
In my mind, I kept thinking, your parents love the free babysitting.
Yeah, I was about
So,
to say. And
that's the only
and
reason
how
y'all are here.
and how old are these kids? Like,
Oh, they're like 16, 17. I mean, this is field day. Like I said, the grades are done. Everything's turned in. This is show up if you want to. We're just gonna have fun. There's gonna be games and stuff. But then it rained, so we couldn't do games and stuff. So it was like
uh,
we had like indoor games, which were kind of lame, honestly. Like if I was a
yeah,
kid, I would have totally been like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go home." And
yeah,
if
exactly.
they
Like,
didn't let me, I would have been kind of annoyed. So
yeah, for
like, I'm
real.
like the only reason y'all are here is because your parents don't want you at home. And it's like, well, there you go. There you go. The
I
writing's on
mean,
the wall there. You might read between the lines and see what that means for you. Uh,
that's awesome.
so yeah, it's been a busy week, but yeah, I'm gonna watch Skeleton Twins, and you're gonna watch
Yeah.
Ghost Warrior. I'm probably gonna watch Ghost Warrior as well, just because it
Well,
seems like a
yeah.
really funny time.
I was
I'm
gonna say
hoping.
it
I'm
seems
hoping
like a
it's good.
oh, and it's
It
I
could become a new
mean,
classic if so.
and if it at all makes me think of Ghost Dog, no, that it can't.
What
But
if there's
maybe
a
I can see.
subtle nod? What
I
if
was
you're
about to
like,
say,
hey,
what if Jim Jarmusch was like, honestly, this is all just a love letter to Ghost Warriors. So, yeah.
he like you has an affinity for just like weird 80s comedies that no one else cares about? And
Oh fuck, I love
that'd
them.
be that'd be great. That'd be
I
great.
could
That'd be
see
great.
it.
Well, let's get
Hey,
into tonight's film proper.
yeah, let's get yeah.
This is Five, which is sometimes stylized as the number five and then IVE, coming out in
Ooh,
1951. So going way, way back in the time machine with
way
our boy
back.
Craig, who is steering us hopefully correctly. Hopefully
Hopefully
we don't
correctly.
get lost into the world in the Matrix.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
director and writer here is the same man, a man by the name of
Oh,
Arch Obler, which is a cool name.
that is a cool name. And this
Arch
was a guy
Obler.
who was. I was gonna say like whoever wrote this because I didn't pay all that much attention to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
credits. Whoever wrote this was like reeling from like dropping the bombs in
yeah.
Japan and then
There
like the
was a lot.
Cold War starting
Oh
like
yeah, there's so much context going into this, which we don't have the time nor the
oh yeah.
degrees in history to fully cover adequately or accurately. So if you want to know what happened leading up to 1951, for those millennials, shame on you for not paying attention in history class. For those Gen
Mhm.
Xers, you should know. And for those millennials, or not millennials, Gen Zers, go find a fucking book and read it. It'll tell
Yeah.
you everything you need to know. But yeah,
You know, you
in
said we don't
summation,
have the degrees.
yeah,
You know, between us we have 2 degrees. Because you have 2
true.
degrees, right?
Technically three, but
3. So between
yeah,
us we have 3 degrees.
and I have an education degree, which is amounting to, as I said last week, 88 cents. Yay.
Yeah. Oh,
There you go. Yeah, times are bleak. Um,
oh yeah.
yeah. So Arch Obler was a radio horror icon. He came up with
Oh.
the show Lights Out, which was a
I've
very
heard of that.
popular, yeah, it was a very, very popular horror program on the radio back in the 1940s. Influenced a lot of people: Stephen King, Rod Sterling,
Yeah.
Francis Truffaut, Going Across the
Mhm.
Seas. And he's never mentioned it, but goddamn, does George Romero steal from this dude a bunch too.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Night of the Living Dead because we're going to talk about the whole Night of the Living Dead series this year, from
Awesome.
beginning all the way to the end. Yeah, because I believe the rights have now been sold, and another one is on the way, using the
Ooh.
unfinished notes of George Romero. Um, Not that the last few Night of the Living Dead movies were stellar, but the
But
original ones are quite exceptional. And if you go back and watch the first one, and then you watch this movie, you get the feeling that he definitely took some influences from this.
yes.
Same thing with Omega Man. Going back to that movie we talked about already, like Omega Man, a lot of this you can see it's whoever made Omega Man, I think, watched this first, as this
Yeah.
kind of has a lot of legacy, as we'll get into it here in a moment.
Mhm.
Interesting facts about Mr. Arch Obler is he was 5'1.5", so a
Oh.
small dude, but apparently very imposing, as he kind of was known for, well, one, traveling with some very illustrious circles, as we'll talk about in a minute. He had some very famous
Mhm.
friends, but also his career was more in radio, so this is kind of a
Interesting.
radio drama in a way. That's what
Yeah.
it was originally kind of envisioned and written as. It became a film afterwards,
Hmm.
but you could kind of see the breadcrumbs of like how this could have been a radio drama.
Right.
Could have been. He did
Yeah.
move on from radio though, after the 1950s and 30s and 40s, primarily radio. But in the 50s and 60s, he kind of moves into film. Some of his biggest credits were The Bubble, which was a movie that came out in 1966, and The
I think
Twankie,
I know that one.
which came out in
The
1953.
oh,
The Bubble, yeah,
maybe
1966. I have not seen either of those movies, truth be told.
I
I
don't
can't
think I've
speak to their quality.
yeah, I definitely don't think I've seen The Bubble, but I think I've heard of it.
Hmm, hmm.
Maybe. I could be wrong.
Possibly.
It could be so many different movies I'm thinking of, and it's like none of those are the one. So,
Well, the bubble that I think of is the Soderbergh movie from the 2000s, which was like a shot on
uh,
video movie that he did, which was kind of like really weird, like David Lynchian kind of like melodrama.
oh, I think I know which one you're talking
People
about.
working on
Yeah.
like a doll
M
factory. It was bizarre. It was a good movie though.
maybe
Um,
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Possibly. That's the only bubble I ever
Yeah.
think of. Like I've said, I've
Yeah.
never seen the one from '66. I'll check it
No.
out after watching this though, because this was pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
the film, he's also the primary writer here. He does credit another writer, which is James Weldon Johnson, who was a writer, who was a poet, famous black poet, who died actually getting hit by a train while he's sitting in his car.
Oh. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, he's a very, very famous author in a lot of films. He's been referenced, Spike Lee's movies and all kinds of different movies.
Yeah.
Here, the film takes his poem creation and kind of focuses primarily on it. But outside of
Uh,
poem, he also was the writer of God's Trombone and Lift Every Voice and Sing. That last one there being his most notable track, or poem,
yeah.
and it has shown up in countless films.
Hmm.
The list goes on. Like there's like over 100 movies that have used Lift Every Voice and Sing. So probably like
I
five
probably
this year alone.
oh, okay, then I
Yeah.
probably I'm
Yes, you've
familiar
definitely
with it.
heard it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, it almost, you don't probably would have thought it was a church hymn, but it's, yeah,
Ah,
it's actually like a poem that he wrote and then kind of added music to, which was a thing people did back then. A lot of people did. There's
yeah.
a lot of, you could actually go back in the day and find records, like vinyls of poets like reading their stuff to music. Like Allen Ginsberg did it, Carl Sandburg did it,
Yeah.
Robert Creeley, a bunch of them recorded albums of themselves just like reading, their poems in a studio setting or sometimes in a live setting,
Yeah.
to music, or to like, what approximated music.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our director and writer here. Some interesting stuff from especially our Mr. Arch Obler, as we'll hear more about him because he also figures heavily into the background as this film as well, because he's also the producer, as well was he the casting director, because this was an independently made movie in 1950.
Oh.
So he is taking on the reins and doing a lot of this by himself for a very, very small budget. And he was able to keep the budget so low. $75,000 was the budget, so less than $100,000 in 1951. And he was
Hmm.
able to keep the budget so low, mostly because of, well, two reasons. One is where they filmed, and two is how he acquired his cast. So let's talk about the cast first.
Oh yeah.
The cast of this film was mostly, it's very, very small. We're talking 5 people at the most.
Yeah.
And it was casting primarily from USC, University of Southern California, graduates,
Oh.
people in their film program, people in their acting program. Basically went to the school, was like, hey, anybody want to be in a movie? Who's good, who's not, got, and then you pick these people out. And yeah, so a lot of these people, all of these people ended up having very big careers. So the
Ooh.
guy had an eye for talent. In fact, the guy that he fired also ended up having a big career. So also
Oh.
pretty good talent. He was good at picking here. Now, most of these people, this was their first or second thing. They hadn't really been in a whole lot beforehand. They would go on to be in a lot of other things. Now, a couple people there's an exception for that rule, but for a lot of the main cast, the two main stars here, um, this was the first thing they were really ever in. So the
Yeah.
first guy is a guy we've actually talked about before, William Phipps. He
Hmm.
was a sci-fi stalwart in the 1950s. He would be in a lot of sci-fi movies, one of which we already talked about, which was War of the Worlds.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he is not the main guy in War of the Worlds. He is the second biggest guy in War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
We talked about him way
Okay.
back then. Check out our previous review where we went through the lineage of the War of the Worlds movies proper. Skipped a
Yeah.
couple, didn't get into the animes or the Asylum, but we talked about the main 3 War of the Worlds movies
Yeah.
that have been made, and he was in the 1951, which was a good movie. We both really liked that one.
Yeah, that one was really good.
How do you compare that movie to this movie? Because both were made around the similar time and both
Oh.
completely different kinds of sci-fi movies.
God, that's a really hard comparison because yeah, it's like going from very like
Kind of like bread and butter.
showy.
What would become bread and butter? I mean, at the time, it's like kind of brand new, but what would become kind of like stock sci-fi with War of the Worlds? Aliens
Yes.
crash
Oh yeah.
land. We have our laser fights. Kind of the usual things that you would
Really,
come to expect.
yeah, really big sets, really
Mhm.
diverse, things and a
Big
lot
budget.
of different things going on and
Yeah.
well, I mean, I guess like some special effects, like a lot of that
Yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah. Getting really into the
So,
development of special effects and sound effects, but
yeah.
less camera tricks, more like kind of stock 2 shots, 3 shots, but like let's kind of fuck around with like what's going on in the background with the noises and stuff to make it more immersive.
Yes.
Whereas whereas 5 is more like dialogue driven, a little French with the camera choices, maybe sometimes a
Yeah.
little too French, honestly.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the so different movies came out practically the same year.
That's wild.
Fucking weird. Yeah, weird as
Yeah.
shit. Another movie came out this same year that we'll talk about here in a minute that'll also blow your mind whenever we talk about like movies that came
Oh.
out this 1951, because you're going to be like, Jesus, like wow, that can't believe that movie came out the same year as this movie did, and like just how different all of these movies were. 50s was a
Mhm.
crazy time to see movies. So beyond War of the Worlds, he also would be in Cat Women of the Moon,
Uh,
Crossfire. um, and then some of the more recent things he was in were Homeward Bound, where he was one of the voices in Homeward Bound,
oh.
and Sword Lives as well, which is a kind of like
Hmm.
John Waters-esque comedy that he would actually produce as well.
Oh, there
It's
you
a good
go.
time. It's a good time. I like Sword Lives.
Yeah.
It's kind of an underrated little film there.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one.
It's worth looking out for. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I'd have to check it out, but yeah, Sword
Yeah.
Lives. It's definitely one of those movies that I think is a good time.
Hmm.
Susan Douglas Rubes is the next up. She would actually be in Targets, movie we just talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. She would also be Kathy in Guiding Light for a while, which would be her kind of most well-known role.
Mhm.
She would also found the Young People's Theater of Toronto in 1966, of which it's still dedicated to her to this day. So kind of a
Oh,
big deal
wow.
in the world of the theatricals, and would be in a bunch of movies as well. Lights Out, like I said, Targets, which is a great movie, a bunch of other things, bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
James Anderson is the next up. He would be in To Kill a Mockingbird, Little Big Man, where he would kind of begin to, as we would see here, work with a lot of Western directors, as he would be also be in Gunsmoke, Rawhide, Bonanza, and Laramie.
Oh, okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Damn.
Yes, sir. He would actually die fairly young, I believe at 49 years old from a barbiturate
Oh.
overdose. So,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's rough.
That's a little rough there. Next up is Charles Lampkin, who would show
Mhm.
up in Ghost Warrior, as we already talked about.
Yeah.
Cocoon, Black the Godfather, Watermelon Man, Cornbread Earl, and Me. This was his first movie. He was cast on site after he recited the creation poem during a rehearsal at USC. He
Oh, wow.
did it, and the director was so impressed. He was like, "Fucking hired." That's all he
Far
was.
out.
And he does do that recital of it is in the movie as well.
Yes.
And it's a very strong recital of the poem. It's very very well
Yeah.
done. Yeah, you can see he puts some socks on it, as they say. Oh, actually, I forgot. William Phipps, one of his biggest role that I completely forgot is he was the voice of Prince Charming in Cinderella.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
far out.
yeah. That was one of those ones where I was like, I kept seeing Cinderella pop up, and I was like, "Is it the animated one?" Yes, it was. He did the voice of Prince Charming in the original Cinderella. William Phipps did. He was
Oh,
also the
Prince.
narrator of the TV cut of Dune. They added a narration to it, so it would make sense, much to the annoyance of David
Yeah.
Lynch. And that narrator they
Oh.
hired was William Phipps here, because why not?
Oh,
Sci-fi
that's
movie,
wild.
let's get him to do it. Yeah.
You know
The
what's
last
funny
guy.
about Prince
Oh yeah, go
Charming?
ahead.
First foot guy.
Oh, everyone's got to have their fetish. Everyone's
Do
got to
they?
have theirs. Well, not yet.
I
You'll
try
find
to be
one if you
cool,
have.
but oh god.
Last person in the cast is Earl Lee, who would be in the 1949 version of Christmas Carol, where he played Marley, which is
Ah,
a great time. I only know Christmas Carol from the Muppets version, so
I was about to say.
the second I hear that word, I have to stop myself from singing the song. It immediately goes into my mind. It's just immediately
Yep.
what I think of. So yeah,
That's
that's
because it's
Earl
the
Lee.
best Christmas Carol
It
movie.
it is the best Christmas Carol movie. He would also be in a bunch of other things as well. Assignment in Paris and a bunch of other things beyond Christmas Carol. He was
Yeah.
probably like I said, one of the only actors here who had any kind of experience prior to this film.
Ah.
So let's get into a little bit of the background here. Speaking of the cast, the guy who was cut. So there was one guy who was cast first, and then William Phipps outperformed him, and so the director removed him from the role, and that was
Hmm.
Leo Penn. Leo Penn, according to the book by Tom Weaver, which was published in 1994, called "Attack of the Monster Movie Makers." In that book, he says that Leo Penn was the original cast in the lead of this film, and then would be paid to go away as he was,
Oh,
somebody else better took his job. And Leo
yeah.
Penn was a famous actor, filmmaker, director, writer, would do a lot of stuff in Hollywood. Probably the most notable thing would be have sex a couple times and make Sean Penn and Chris Penn. Those
Oh,
things kind of became important in life. Yeah,
far
he's their dad.
out.
That was Leo Penn. He was the original guy who was supposed to be in this movie, and yeah, he got fired like right
That's
before they started
wild.
filming. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Would have been a very different movie. I've never actually seen a whole lot of Leo Penn movies when he was younger. I only ever saw him stuff whenever he was like much older, because like he shows up in some Sean Penn movies.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Once Sean Penn started getting a little bit of clout, he cast his brother and his dad in a bunch of shit.
I mean, I probably
But
would
I
too.
Oh, obviously, yeah,
Hmm.
totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shit. Speaking of, I need to text my brother. It's his birthday. God damn
Well,
it.
we gotta get on that.
Yep.
Yeah. I yeah, I would do the same as well, like, help a brother out kind of a thing. I am my brother's keeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leo Penn here didn't make the cut. So one of those weird connections that just kind of wasn't there, but kind of was there as well. Some more interesting connections this film has. The beach. Did you recognize the beach of this movie? We
I
see 3
didn't.
different beach visits. Ah, well, you should be familiar with it because it is the exact same beach that would be used in Planet of the Apes.
It was?
It's the exact same beach, yes, sir.
Oh,
That's the
I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
exact same beach.
Oh, far.
Exact same beach. And that
Oh,
exact
I'm so
same beach
mad at
is
myself.
yeah, and that exact same beach is not that far from the Cliff House, which actually burned down in 2019. The Cliff House, it was a famous house which was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, who designed a lot of homes, and this one was one
Yeah.
he designed specifically for the director of this movie, as they were friends.
Oh. Well,
He
that's
actually designed him
cool.
2 houses. He also designed Eleanor House, which is the other house. So Cliff House is one of the houses. Eleanor House is one of the other houses, which is kind of the one that they see kind of off in the distance that they also utilize in the film.
Yes.
That house was one he built for this director's wife, who he was also a friend with. He built her own house for whenever she wanted time away from her husband. And like most Frank Lloyd Wright homes, it kind of has some kind of like horror story associated with it. A lot of Frank Lloyd Wright's things that he designed kind of had mysteriously have like weird like deaths or odd things that happened there. Like Cliff House, like we just mentioned, burned down in 2019 and the fires.
Yeah.
About 7 years after this movie came out in 1958, the director and his wife would be at home, I think, and their 6-year-old son would drown and right outside of the
Oh,
Eleanor house, where apparently
man.
like part of the design made it to where rainwater collected in a certain location, and I guess I don't know, someone wasn't paying attention, or I
Oh,
mean, you can drown so fast, so I guess somehow the kid drowned in the rainwater ditch right outside the house. So like I said,
dang
um
it.
yeah, there's a which ties into this movie in a weird way, which is
Yep.
not the first time that's happened. Where a filmmaker, it happened with Last Night as well, where the director
Mhm.
wrote like a primary thing of the movie being the death of his wife, and then that later happened in real life. And
Man.
here, same thing. One of the primary things of this movie is the death of a child, and it happened again a couple of years right afterwards. Right in the
Hey,
exact
note
same
to
place they were
self.
filming it. Right in the exact same place they were filming it.
Damn.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
one of those weird, yeah, another
Yeah.
weird connection. Um,
So if I ever write something, or everything I write, I'm just gonna be like, nope.
no, but it didn't do
Only
existence.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna only put into existence things like a giant bag filled with money flies through my window or something, like
Yeah, this movie is got a lot of weird connections that go beyond. Here's some more. In July 1964, when the movie was first shown on TV on NBC, it was actually interrupted for one whole hour as the Ranger 7 was landing on the moon while this movie was being shown on TV for the first time.
oh damn.
Yep. And this movie does have some legacy to it as well, according to Turner Classic Movies, which is kind of one of the larger sources when it comes to movies of this time period, they
Yeah.
say that this movie is the first ever movie that set the post-apocalypse that deals heavily with nukes, which does make
Uh,
sense given the year it came out, as it came out so quickly after we just dropped the
oh
nukes.
yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that this would be one of the first. So yeah, now we've talked about going back to Deluge from 1933. We talked about one of the first ever post-apocalyptic movies ever made, and
Hmm.
here we are once again talking about one of the first ever post-apocalyptic well, I guess nuclear holocaust movies ever made.
Yeah.
So interesting thing. Speaking of nukes, if you go back in the movie and you pause it, the day the nukes dropped is apparently February 13th. Is a little connection there.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fun
Well,
times.
I don't know the
Fun
connection.
times.
Wait,
What's that?
what did I miss?
Oh, did I lose
No,
you?
I mean like with February 13th.
Oh, no, no, that's just when the film came out. That's all.
Oh, it's
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
just
they were able
Oh no,
to.
sorry. That's the
Oh,
day that the newspaper says the nukes were dropped on that day. Yeah, no connection, just
okay.
an interesting little thing. Yeah, we might cut all that
Oh,
out.
that is. Oh, that
That's
is
one of
cool
those
that they
things where it's
actually
like, oh,
show
we
it.
just didn't hear each other properly,
Yeah.
and it's not important to the overall thing because the movie didn't come
No.
out that day or anything like that. So yeah,
No.
the movie did come out on April 25th, 1951, at the Holiday Theater in New York City, where it was the Holiday Theater was originally called the Gotham Theater, and it would actually
Ooh.
become the Holiday Theater in 1951. And by the
Oh wow.
1990s, it was a disco club. Was it? By the 90s, it was a discotheque.
Wow.
That's the New York City release date. The LA release date had some fanfare as it kind of has its own history to it. So let's dive into the 1951 release date of the LA premiere of Five.
Yeah.
This came out on August 28th, 1951. That's the day we're going to use for the Travis trivia. It debuted
Nice.
in Los Angeles at the Four Star Theater, which had some legacy to it, as that is also the same place that Gone with the Wind debuted, as well as Grapes
Oh.
of Wrath. However,
Far
like most things, subject to entropy and change, by 1973, Four Star Theater, it was a porno theater, getting 4 stars of
Oh
a
my.
different sort.
Oh wow.
Yeah. 1978, it was sold and it became an art house theater, which, hey, probably
Hey.
still
Yeah.
people jerking off inside. Honestly, let's be honest with each
Honestly.
other. Yeah, and it would remain an art house theater until 1997 when all art died. That's my drawing line.
I like it.
And from 1997 to this day, it's now a shopping mall. So there you go.
Ah, that's
But
a shame.
back in our time machine with our boy Craig, uh, not a shopping mall at the time in 1951. It was the Four Star Theater, the peak of luxury, as this was one of the earliest ever TV broadcasted red carpets. I have
Oh.
no fucking clue why.
Yeah, really?
No clue. As this was like a pretty low budget, independently produced movie. Now, he sold it to Columbia and made a fucking killing.
Yeah.
I don't think any of those graduates from USC saw a dime, but hey, he sold it to Columbia Pictures and made a killing off because it cost nickels and pennies to produce. I mean, he's
Yeah.
hiring
Oh
nobodies
yeah.
from college to be in it. He's filming it in his fucking house. His
Yeah,
other
really.
location is his wife's house. His third location is the beach down the street. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, using Robert Rodriguez's mentality of use what's around you. God, well, when you're around a lot of things that are very expensive, then you can obviously
Yeah.
make things look very nice for yourself. Which is how they're able to pull off the post-apocalyptic setting so well, is because like they rarely go into the city, and
Mhm.
their house is so desolate and isolated that it doesn't look like anything else is around it because they
Yeah.
own all that land. So hey, shit, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fell down a rabbit hole there. Let's fall down some more. Here is who was at the red carpet that night because we have a list of some people who
Ooh.
saw this movie. So I want you to think about that. They sat down and watched this little weird 1950s art movie. A couple of them you're going to be like, "Oh, I can only imagine." There's one of them. There's one of them that I want to make a movie of him watching this movie because I just want to know like
Ooh.
the level of discomfort he must have felt, the level of like internal anger and rage, or just like did he go take a shit and a smoke and didn't give a fuck? I don't know. But here's who was there that night. We got Charles Boyer, who was a four-time
Mhm.
Oscar nominee. He would be the main star of the film Gaslight, which is where we get that term because he gets married
Yep.
and tries to convince his wife that she's fucking crazy. Next up is Lou Costello. I guess rocking solo tonight as Abbott is not around, so no one's here to tell us who's on first.
I was about to say he's he's just gonna keep asking, and
Who's on
like,
first?
what are the names?
What are
What
the
are their
names?
names?
When his wife goes to pick up his check at the end of the week, what name does she sign? Who? Who? I love that. I show that to my high school students, and some of them love it, and some of them are just like stop paying attention and get confused by it.
Really?
But oh god, I think it's hilarious.
God, that's such that. Okay, this is a thing about me. Old vaudeville style comedy like that is my favorite comedy. Like Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello,
it's so
Laurel and
fucking hard to
Hardy.
do.
It's so
Like to have that back and forth, that bit with somebody to where it seems so natural when it's very clearly not. Like that is a rehearsed thing. That
Oh, it
takes
is.
so much time.
It does because you don't want to fuck that up in the middle of it. Like,
And comedy is all about timing because you got to also read the audience because like if the audience gets the joke and they're hysterically laughing during the setups, then they're gonna miss the punchline. So you got to kind of rock and
you
flow with it.
gotta.
Yeah, I love Lou Costello.
So
Abbott and Costello are my favorite comedians ever.
absolutely. I mean,
am
I'm a
my
Marx
favorites.
Brothers guy, but the
Oh no, I'm
Abbott
an
and
Abbott and
Costello.
Costello all the way.
Yeah.
Abbott and Costello do it for me every day. Next up
I
is
totally
Robert.
get it.
Yeah, next up is Robert Cummings, who would be in Dial M for Murder.
Ooh,
Next
I still
was
haven't seen that movie.
It's pretty good, pretty good. Next up
Yeah.
is Arlene Dahl, who was in a bunch of stuff, but she was also Lorenzo Lamas's mom, which is probably the most relevant thing for our podcast, honestly.
Yeah, I was about to say for
yeah. For our stuff, Lorenzo Lamas, way more important than the stuff Arlene Dahl was in. Next up, we got Dan Duria, who was in None But the Lonely Heart, which is also a really good movie from this time period. Glenn Ford and Van Helflin would also be there, who would be also big time actors. They were both in 3:10 to Yuma. Van Helflin was in Airport. He was also an Oscar nominee for Johnny Eager. And Glenn Ford would be in Superman much later on, obviously, as Granddaddy Super Pops.
That's right.
Yep. Boris Karloff was there this night. Probably high as fuck.
I mean, let's,
I got to. No, someone else who was there. This next person deserves their own movie. Hedy Lamarr, actress / inventor.
Yes.
Yeah, she invented, those of you who don't know, she invented the missile guidance program that was used by the Allies to basically win World War II. She invented that.
That's
right.
Not
just an actress. She's like maybe one of the smartest people that ever lived. And yeah, they should make a whole movie just about her. Shit, they should make a TV show about her.
Honestly,
I think Hedy Lamarr is one of those like people that people don't talk about enough. Where it's like, yeah, no, she was fucking impressive as shit, man.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just
she also not afraid of a little litigation.
No, fuck it.
She's
figure it out in court.
Oh bullshit. Hell yeah,
sir. Next up is James Mason, a 3-time Oscar nominee as well, who would mostly be known from North by Northwest, as well as Lolita, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The list goes on and on and on and on.
For having one of the best voices in all of Hollywood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next was Ann Sheridan, who was a star of the 30s and 40s and 50s as well. Her biggest credit was Angels with Dirty Faces, which is an old school gangster movie.
Yeah.
And if you like Scarface and you want to get into like old school gangster movies, and that's a good one to start with. Angels with Dirty Faces is a really good.
Hell yeah.
Next up was a big guy for here in Memphis. It was a big actor at the time, mostly known for his charity work. It's Danny Thomas, who would be the guy who started St. Jude's, which is like one of the biggest one of the biggest things in the world. Here, set here in Memphis as well. There's streets galore named after that dude here in town. He's got his own parkway. He's got his own street. There's Danny Thomas Way. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff for Danny Thomas. He was a big deal here in Memphis for his charity work at St. Jude's. Next up is Eleanor Powell, who was a tap dancer who was very popular in the 1930s and 40s when tap dancing had its kind of peak, and kind of has waned in popularity since then, much to the probably celebration of Timothy Chalamet, who apparently is not a fan of such displeasantries. Another man who was not a fan of such displeasantries, who I am shocked to see him here. I have no idea why he is here, but god damn, do I want to make a movie about him watching this movie. The Duke, John Wayne, was in attendance. Probably uncomfortable as fuck. An anti-capitalistic post-apocalyptic movie. Like, I'm sure John Wayne was like scritching and itching with like all these fucking communists around him. Like,
I was about to say,
who can I rat out? Who can I rat out?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh shit. God. Yeah, I want to make a movie about John Wayne going to the premiere of 5. Like, just him being annoyed, him being pissed about it. Somehow we
Yes.
got just so many different things come to mind where I'm just like, "Oh, oh god. What kind of movie would that be?"
That
So
would be awesome.
here was what was going on in the world on August 28th, 1951, outside of John Wayne being mildly annoyed. The top film at the time, the top films at the time when this movie came out were A Streetcar Named Desire, good ass
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
A Place in the
Hell yeah.
Sun, good ass
Ooh,
movie.
yes.
Alice in Wonderland, good ass movie.
Nice.
An African Queen, good ass movie.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, when you compare that to 2026 and like the top 5 movies, and you're like, God
I don't even
damn,
I don't even know what they would even be now. Like,
sequels, all just sequels.
I
Sequels
mean,
or
yes.
remakes. Sequels or remakes. Hey, let's look it up.
Ugh. Yeah,
Top
let's I mean,
5
to
films.
compare 51 to 2026, like, these were some every movie
Christ.
you named off, I've
Yeah.
seen and love. So,
Top 5 movies right now, according to IMDb. Streaming and theatrical, it combines Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and Gru.
nope.
Yeah,
I will not watch that.
I stopped watching the show after the
I
first
didn't
season.
watch Yeah, I only watched the first season. I thought it was pretty cool. It was like a Western. I
I
liked that.
I liked Werner Herzog being in it, and then once he died, I was like,
Yes.
"All right, I don't have to pay attention anymore." Like, he's not. We're making the
Uh,
film movie.
w
Um,
this
Next
You
up
are
is
the
Michael.
Mandalorian.
I don't know what Michael is. I have no context or knowledge about that.
It's just called Michael?
Yeah, it's just called Michael. I don't know anything about that one.
I
Oh, it's the
Oh,
Michael
wait, is that
Jackson
the
movie. It's the Michael
that
Jackson movie.
one?
Yeah, I don't give a shit about biopics. I never have. I
I
never
hate
will.
biopics.
We've
I'm
talked about
not
this
I
on the
mean,
show before, going way back,
yeah, this is
way back. Like, yeah,
I
it's
may
not a
not
thing.
agree with, Quentin Tarantino on a lot of things, but I
Yeah,
definitely agree with him on biopics.
I do
I'm
not
not a
need to
fan.
watch a biopic. If I want to read a book, I'll read a fucking book.
Yeah.
And typically, I do a lot of like biography deep dives on doc shit. We do one almost every week here. But like,
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't want to watch a fucking film about it. Like,
I don't
I
want
just
yeah, no,
don't.
I don't
No,
need a dramatization, just I
no,
want the
no.
story of it. That's
Yeah,
all I
just give
want.
me the
Like
facts. I can paint the picture in my head. Thank you.
exactly, and
Uh,
documentaries are fine,
yeah.
do a damn documentary, like, it's fine.
Now, number 3 is one that I do want to watch. It's the new horror movie that everyone's talking about called Obsession. That looks pretty interesting. And
I
number
have not
4
even
and
heard of
5,
that one.
yeah, it's apparently got a really good performance in it. I mean, I'm curious. I'm interested. I like horror movies though.
Okay.
Number 4,
Yeah, I
number
was about to
5
say.
are Devil Wears Prada 2. Never gonna watch that. Never watched the first. And
Oh,
whatever
you
the
didn't watch
fuck,
the first? I like the first.
absolutely not. The fifth movie is called The Sheep Detectives. Whatever the fuck that is.
The
It
Sheep
is a comedy
Detectives?
mystery starring Hugh Jackman.
Wait,
Yes.
really?
Yes, that's apparently what it
I
says. It's directed by
I'm
Kyle
picturing
Balda.
I'm
Was
picturing,
Kyle
like,
Balda?
is it animated or, like
I don't know. The
like,
guy that did
CG
it is a
or
Pixar guy,
claymation or
so it might be
Oh,
animated.
okay.
He's a
That
Pixar dude,
makes
so
sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not gonna
It's
watch it either way.
I
There
was
you go.
about to say, no, it
Yeah,
sounds
I had
like
a
a
love of
kid's
Hugh
movie.
Jackman, and then well, I don't. Not anymore. Good now.
Oh,
I'm good now.
that's right, he sucks
Oh,
now.
yeah, he's kind of a dickhead for a lot of different ways.
Uh, I forgot.
Interesting thing that happened on this day is Strangers on a Train. That movie had just come out on this day.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the lead actor in it, Robert Walker, would die in 1950, same day, 1951, at the age of 32, from a reaction to prescription pain pills. Which,
God bless it.
yeah, not sure how that really happened back then, but yeah, I got to look a little bit more into that. Top
Yeah.
songs at the time. And then we'll just do kind of like a quick little overview of some stuff that happened before this movie came out. I guess we'll do the
Yeah.
overview first. That'd make more sense. So on August 6th of 1951, a typhoon killed 4,800 people in Manchuria.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir. 1951, on August 11th, the first ever color baseball game was broadcast in New York City.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. Same thing, August 20th, 1951, a very, very famous film, which would invent a whole new genre of filmmaking as well as writing, almost, if you think about it. Rashomon would win the Golden Globe
Oh,
at the Venice Film Festival in 1951, just 8 days before this movie came out. Yep. That's
far
where we're at. That's
out,
where we're at.
man.
For those of you not familiar, Rashomon is one of the very, very first movies to ever take the camera and point it up at the sun.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
that's where we are in filmmaking. That's kind of where that was revolutionary at the time. For other reasons, that movie is amazing. If you've never seen that movie
Oh, yeah.
from Kurosawa, I think that's Kurosawa's best.
I'm with you
Yeah.
on that.
One of these days, we'll just have to do a deep dive and go through all of Kurosawa's movies. We'll just talk about
Oh,
every single one of them. That'll be fun one day.
Ikadu might be my favorite, but
Yeah,
there's a lot
that's
about
really
that.
that one's really good too. That one's really good too.
Yeah.
High and Low is
Uh,
also really fucking good.
there's one I need to watch, and I forgot the name of it. Something dog. Shit, I can't
Oh,
remember. But
yeah, I know what you're
it's
talking about.
yeah, it's the one that starts off with the detective like getting his gun stolen. Like
Uh-huh,
that's how the movie starts. I need to watch it. I started it and then I never finished it. So
Yeah. August 22nd in Berlin, the Harlem Globetrotters would play to a 75,000 packed crowd.
wow.
Crazy.
And
75,000 people in Berlin went to go see the Harlem Globetrotters.
and this was in 51?
Yeah, 1951.
See, I didn't know how long the Globetrotters have been around.
Been trotting a while.
Yeah, I was about to say.
In August 24th of 1951, the St. Louis Browns would have what's one of the most interesting promotions I've ever heard of, called Grandstand Managers Day, where they had the crowd hold up billboards with directions for the players, and they got to be the manager for that day.
Oh, that's far out,
Yeah.
man.
What a promotion. That's crazy to think of. That was the thing that
That
happened.
is crazy.
That's that is pretty weird. Pretty crazy. And August 26th, so 2 days before this film came out, the first ever artificial heart was shown in Paris.
Oh wow.
There you go. All kinds of
Yeah, you think
interesting
of
things.
something like that as being like very modern or more like, you know,
Yeah.
later 21st century or like not or 20th century, like later 20th century, not in the middle.
Yeah, you would think it's going to be like 70s or 80s, and it's like, oh no, it's like the 50s. Now, like, it only probably was around for like a couple seconds, but it's like, hey, look what we did. It did something.
Yeah.
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 The top songs at the time were Tony Bennett, Because of You. Classic.
Okay.
Frankie Lane with Jezebel.
I might know that song.
I'm not familiar with that one. I do know the next two, though. Nat King Cole with Too Young.
Yep.
And Rosemary Clooney with Come On to My House. My House to Come On.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's a good song.
Yeah, dude.
Good classic 50s stuff. The biggest artist, one of the biggest artists at the time, every time we've talked about the 50s, which I think this is the third time now, it has always been Les Paul. And once again, Les Paul was one of the largest stars at the time on the radio. So we're going to take a little pause, and we're going to come back and talk about the plot of 5. I'll see y'all in a second.
Orson Welles. I direct films and act in them. What we're always trying for, of course, is perfection. In a film, that's only a hope. But with
Final Picture Show podcast,
you can rely on it. Perfection.
I was about to say, speaking of getting old, my shoulder fucking hurts so bad.
Yeah.
Because the other day, I was doing some, I was getting ready to like put food together, and I just all of a sudden had to sneeze. And I was trying to figure out a way to do that without sneezing all over my food and, how to deal with that. and I guess just the way my arm was positioned whenever I sneezed, I don't know what I did to my shoulder, but it hurts
Fucked
so
it up.
bad now. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
from
I'm getting to the
sneezing.
yeah. No, but no old people ever told me when I was younger that when you get older and you sneeze, your entire fucking body hurts.
Yeah, like
That's a fun thing that happens
fuck.
as you get older.
I used to enjoy a good sneeze. Now I'm
Well, I
like,
mean, it used to be
fuck,
like
dude.
a thing that happened. You didn't even notice it. Now, when it happens, it's like, oh god, this is gonna hurt like shit
Yeah,
afterwards.
like fuck. Like every time I'm about to sneeze, I'm like horrified. Like
Yeah, it's like my
what
entire cerebral
new?
cortex is gonna shift forward and then backward for a second, just fuck my shit up.
Like what's gonna break this time? Oh God.
So
So
you
yeah.
want to? I think next week, let's do let's do the world. Is it the world, the flesh, and the devil?
Oh.
This is a movie from 1959, post-apocalyptic
Ooh.
movie starring Harry Belafonte.
Hell yeah, dude.
Mm, that's what we're
Like
watching
the
next
Harry
week.
Belafonte?
The Harry Belafonte. Yes, he was in a post-apocalyptic movie. Yes, sir.
I would have never. Nope. If
Who
I'd
would
have
have
had to
thought?
put money on it, I'd have lost that money.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Harry Belafonte. That's who we're going to talk about next week as we stay in the 50s, as we're going to continue with our little trend of talking about older movies for a little while. So I'll see y'all then.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into this son of a bitch.
Hell yeah.
The intro is very 50s.
Oh yeah.
Lots of stock footage, lots of
Yeah.
intersplicing of camera weirdness. Yeah, it's very 50s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The good, the bad, all of it. That's yeah. But the movie, the beginning does kind of set the tone that this is a bleak as shit movie.
Yep.
For context, and warning before we get too far in here, as we're gonna have to talk about it. The main hero of this movie does try to commit rape.
Yeah.
And that's the guy, that's
Yeah.
the only guy, that's the guy that lives that we're supposed to think is like the hero. Which by the time we get to the end of the
Yeah.
movie, what the fuck? The ending of this movie is bizarre as shit, but we'll
Oh
get
yeah,
there.
it is.
Yeah, the intro of this movie, you can tell like with the deserted cities, the newspaper flying everywhere, the person lost, wandering from place to place, the German angles, the
Hmm.
expressionist lighting. Like fucking Romero ripped this off, and then because of George Romero ripping it off, every horror movie ever that has zombies ripped off this beginning as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you can watch this movie and immediately think you're watching a zombie movie because it a lot of them
Oh yeah.
stole this
I was gonna
opening
say
with them. A lot of
28
them
days
stole.
later.
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say they stole this opening. This is where it starts at, right here. Is this movie,
I
1951?
should have recognized it immediately. I should have been like, oh yeah.
If it came before then it I don't know. Maybe there's an earlier example of it, but yeah, I think this would have to be one of the earliest
This.
examples of that kind of like stark post-apocalyptic opening that we've come to know.
Yeah.
Like we saw it in Resident Evil, we saw it in 28 Days, we'll see it in Night of the Living Dead. We've seen it in Omega Man. We saw it in uh Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. Like it's a thing that keeps getting repeated again and again and again. And here we
Yeah, it
see
is.
it with the female, which is interesting. That's which immediately
Yeah.
kind of draws the connections to me with Resident Evil.
Not. Oh, with Resident Evil. Well,
Yeah,
Night of the
yeah.
Living
Well,
Dead.
because yeah, but that there's two people in that one,
Uh,
whereas it has a
yeah.
little bit of a different start because you got the people in the graveyard. They're
That's
coming
right.
for you, Barbara. That whole thing. So it's a little different there, but you can also kind of see where a lot of people kind of get that opening from that they would rip off a
Oh yeah.
lot. So I like the characters. They're really, really, really well written.
Oh
And we get
yes.
a lot of emotional depth in the characters, especially our quote unquote hero of the movie, who yeah, when we're introduced to him, he's presented as like the good guy. And then
Yeah.
within like 5 or 10 minutes of meeting him, He tries to rape the girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only
He-
reason he doesn't is because she says she's pregnant with another man's baby. That was a
I
bridge too
mean,
far.
do what you gotta do, I guess. Get that dude off you, but son of a bitch, that should
Yeah,
have
yeah,
stopped
yeah.
way before that.
Yeah, because I mean, he presents it as like, well, you're the last woman,
Yeah.
I'm the last guy. She
Yeah,
thinks
like
her
this is
husband might.
logic.
Yeah, yeah. She thinks her husband might still be alive somewhere. Now, later
That's
on, we
right.
find out he's not. We
Right.
don't know
But
that now. She woke up in a
we don't know.
hospital. Once again, very Resident Evil.
Yeah.
She wakes up in a hospital, has no idea what's going on. Walking Dead, very much, once again, stealing from that whole thing, whole idea. Yeah, it has its roots. If it's not here, then it's got to be close nearby.
Seriously, I'm very happy to attribute it to this because they did it really well and it looked
Yeah,
really
the
good.
intro is really good. I really like the
Oh yeah.
introduction of this movie. Yeah, and then when we finally start developing the characters, we find out a little bit more about her. Like I said, she woke up in a hospital. We find out later what she was at the hospital for was to get X-rays
Yep.
for her pregnancy, and her husband is an architect who was at work, who was supposed to come meet her at the hospital, and then this nuclear apocalypse happened, and that's what she woke up to. We find out that he has a completely different story, where he is more associated with New York City, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe he mentions that like he had came from New York City. Now, how he found his way here is a little how anybody finds their way here is a little mysterious.
Yeah.
Kind of points to like one of the cool things about this movie, which is like if you take it at face value, it is what it is. But if you immediately introduce the idea that what if they're lying to each other, then it immediately makes the movie. I was gonna say it immediately makes the movie way more interesting. We
Yeah, it
take what they're
does.
saying to be truthful, but why wouldn't they lie to each other?
Yeah, right?
Now, in order to kind of take that as a narrative and run with it, you'd have to have something introduced in the film where you kind of can grab a hold and say, like, look, he said this, and this turned out to be very clearly he's actively lying. I'm not sure if that exists in the film, but I do think it's an interesting. I do think it'd be fun to introduce in there because they say some outlandish shit. A couple of these characters, like later on, Eric, who's like, "I climbed Mount Everest alone.
I climbed by myself."
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Who's the fucking Sherpa that helped you?
People. Yeah, seriously.
It's 1951. Your ass would have gotten frozen up there. Fucking liar.
Yeah, the second he said that, I was like, "That's gotta be bullshit. There's no way."
That's the same thing. Same thing. That's why I immediately was like, well, what if they're lying to each other? Like, and what if she's the only one telling the truth about the pregnancy, just because it got him off of her, and like she's operating under the idea that like she's telling the truth. All the rest of these guys have something to lie about, and they do. And and so I thought that was interesting. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that's kind of intentional or not intentional. But yeah, immediately as soon as Eric's like, I climbed Mount Everest, it's like, bullshit, you did.
Yeah, for real.
Bullshit, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those moments where I was like, well, I'm already,
yeah,
I'm already.
I do like that, like,
weary of this dude.
Very weary of this dude. Yeah, he kind of gives you weird vibes immediately. And Michael, the main character here, he gives you weird vibes as well because he, like we said, he meets this girl. He's trying to. He seems like he's providing for her. We get the vibes of like, okay, he's giving her distance, he's giving her space. But then after a few days,
starts off very cool.
Yeah, he seems like the hero. Then we get introduced shades of gray because he crosses a bridge too far with her. They're having a moment, and he takes it to be like, well, let's have some sex. And she's like, no, like my husband still I'd be out there. I'm not interested in you in that way. But he's not taking no for an answer. The only thing, like we said, that gets him off of her is her saying, like, I'm pregnant. And that is apparently a bridge too far for him. He's like, I'll rape you, but if you're pregnant, well, shit. I can't do anything with that, It's 1950. Let's not go that far.
We have boundaries. Jesus Christ.
This movie will cross a couple of them as it gets controversial for the time, I would have to imagine. That's why, like, everything that happens like this, I'm just imagining John Wayne sitting uncomfortable, just like with an itchy butthole, just like ugh, uncomfortable John Wayne.
I like that.
Some more things that would make John Wayne uncomfortable are little critiques at capitalism, where like
Yes.
he mentions like this is like paradise for me. I have a home. I have like he insinuates he has her to like have sex with. He has
Oh, right.
food. He has no problems. Like he's like this
Yeah.
is this, and then later on they mention like what is a world without bills? Like what do you do?
Oh,
It's like
yeah, that's
that
right.
is such like pointed anti-capitalism where it's like, wait a minute, if I don't have to owe anybody any money, then I wouldn't be doing the job I'm doing. If I'm not doing the job I'm doing, then what would I be like? It like completely reframes your entire worldview of like how you approach every single day when you don't
Yep,
have a thing hanging over your head that you have to pay off.
that's
A
right.
luxury that only few get to experience, those billionaires out there.
Yeah, I was about to
Otherwise, everybody's
say.
gotta pay somebody something, so, yeah, I do like that, they bring that up as, like it's kinda like a little inkling of, like, here's a little
Mhm.
anti-capitalist idea for you in
Little anti,
1951.
little. That's
Doesn't it
pretty
suck that
awesome.
everyone's gotta pay bills even though it seems kinda very futile and pointless? It's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I really I do like it. I do think
Oh, yeah,
that
especially
it's
because I
good to see.
recently just learned about resource-based economy, theory, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's I mean, I doubt it's, the thing we'll ever see. Well, I know we'll never see it in our lifetime, but
No, no.
I don't know if future generations will see it either. So it's
Yeah.
too idyllic. Huh.
Yeah. I do also like that he points out that like, what existed before kind of fucking sucked. He calls it a honky tonk of a world. I liked that.
Oh, yeah.
A honky tonk of a world. Like I don't want it to come back. Like I fuck that. It was awful. Like I had to pay bills. I had to do a job I hated. Like, he mentions that he was a teacher, like he's like an English literature guy. He's like, yeah, it's like I didn't want to do any of that shit. Like,
I
I'm
was-
glad it's gone. Let it be gone. And so I thought that was an interesting take. It's one of those ones that
yeah.
we see in modern films, but to see it in a 1950s film, it's kind of interesting.
Yes.
It's not this like
Oh, this.
romanticization of like, oh, we need to rebuild before God's eyes or in God's image. There's someone pointing out that like what we had before was kind of shitty. Like, does anyone
Yes.
want to build it back? Why?
Yeah. Oh, this movie made me think of just so many things that were like I just never imagined people back then thinking about, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, of course they did. Why wouldn't they? You know,
Yeah.
like why
Now,
would they be any different?
one of the more one of the plot problems of this movie is how quickly we go from two people to five people. As
Yeah.
the title of the movie implies, there are five people left on this planet, and
Yep.
that's kind of what happens rather rapidly as we immediately then meet our two other characters, this old man and what is apparently like a handyman extraordinaire, because he's going to help out in
Yeah.
all kinds of ways. And that's the guy that we talked about earlier, played by Charles Limpkin here, who was going to
Yes.
recite us a poem. Who's I thought he was the actors here. I thought he was the best of all of these guys.
Absolutely. Big
Yeah, he's
time.
the one that every time he's on screen, he really commanded performance, and also like a black man being
In a
one of the leading stars of your independently produced movie in the 1950s.
hell yeah,
Pretty
take that,
fucking
John
cool.
Wayne.
Yeah, I was going to say John Wayne once again, very uncomfortable, probably. Very
Probably. I mean, let's be honest. He was
based on what we
of a
based
certain
on
type.
what I was gonna say, based on what we've heard about the man, he seemed like he didn't necessarily feel like
I mean, he did a film about like the need to vote Republican. Like, I mean, you know,
yeah, I
he
like
was
some
he
John
was
Wayne movies. Like
championing
it's
a certain governor in California at the time,
certain
Mr.
one,
Ronald Reagan.
certain one, yes sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we've talked about it. Like I like some John Wayne movies. There's some
Oh,
John
of
Wayne movies that
course.
I really love. Rio Bravo, Red River, Searchers. The Searchers is
The
beautiful.
Searchers is so
It's
good.
such a pretty
Like,
movie. Such a
hey,
pretty
if you want to go way back to one of his first movies, like The Lucky Texan,
movie.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
you can get
I
deep.
grew up with a granddad who was a big John Wayne guy, so I
Oh,
saw a lot of John Wayne
absolutely.
movies, and He's one of those guys, kind of like Ted Nugent, who we've mentioned on the podcast before, where it's like, God, I really don't like Ted Nugent, but Stranglehold, it's a pretty fucking good
It's
song.
got me in a stranglehold.
It's got you in a stranglehold, baby. Yeah, indeed.
That's a good. I mean, damn it!
It's
Some of
got
the
a good
music is
groove to it. It's like it's one of those things where
yes,
it's like, shit. Yeah, you're right. Fuck. All right, you got me there, Ted. A little bitch.
yeah.
Um, some characters. We also lose some characters as the old man dies at the
Yeah.
beach, which is kind of nice. It's a nice send off.
It's a nice send off because he has what they assume because nobody really knows that it's radiation poisoning,
Yeah,
and he all of a sudden he's like, I have to go to the beach, like
yeah.
I have to go. And so it's like he knew his time was coming, and he's like, if I'm gonna go, I'm going at the beach, like.
Yeah, which is what he wanted.
And I
You
get
know,
it. Yeah, why
hey,
not?
you got to.
Yeah,
I do love that we get one of those other critiques of capitalism where they talk about like, where Charles and Michael are having that discussion about like what they did for a living before all of this happened, and he's
yeah,
like, I just did whatever would get me $38.50 a week. I did that whatever would give me like I did, I just wanted
yeah.
what everyone wants, security. It's like, yeah,
Does it? Yeah,
that is what we're
yeah.
still after is fucking just security. And once you have that, which they deny us by making us pay all this money outlandishly to all
Mm,
kinds of bullshit, it kind of always puts you in a state of constant fuckiness, to put it simply, where you're
yeah,
constantly like a rat on a fucking wheel trying to keep up with things. And it's just like, yeah, just
absolutely.
that constant just searching of just like security. All
Yep.
anybody wants. So once you have that, and God, does life become a little bit easier, and you actually can have like hobbies and
Yeah.
enjoyment.
Oh God, could you see? I'm telling you, and I keep saying it, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. Work just gets in the way. Uh,
Yeah. Well,
and it's the stress of like work. It's not work
I
itself.
think
I
we're
mean,
in the generation that's in the time period where we can point this out and scream about it, but also in the time period where we also have bills to pay tomorrow. So
yeah, I was about to say no. If I
I can relate
wish that
there.
I could, pursue some creative endeavors, but
Yeah.
if I miss a car payment, that's going to be a problem. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That is.
like,
They want that money no matter what.
yeah,
This is also where we get introduced to Eric, who's kind of going to be the antagonist of the second half of the movie.
yeah, and
And
what an antagonist.
he's a total dick. Yeah, he's a total dick.
Oh yeah,
Immediately is a dick as he kind of starts like a race fight one night, which leads to kind
yes.
of her suddenly going into pregnancy.
Like, what
She's
the fuck,
Now,
man?
the pregnancy scenes were kind of silly, like the water and the intersplicing. That
Yeah,
was a bit much. That was a bit much. She was a bit
it
French.
was.
It was a little
It was.
French. It was a little Frenchy.
I'm with you
It was
there.
like, okay, all right, I get you. I've seen some Truffaut movies too. All right,
Well, and I didn't. It brought up
the
that point
little
of
through the
like,
lens of a very American person.
yeah, right. Well, the whole thing with him going all weird racist all of a sudden, like,
Yeah,
it made me realize, like, I don't, and then, thinking of a lens of nowadays and also our upbringing, we don't consider that all that much. I would have never thought I'd never had a second thought about someone's race if there were only 5 people left,
yeah. This
I'd
is
be
when
like,
I was
okay,
like, yeah, that whole subplot is immediately what made me think like Romero had to have watched this because
yeah,
that is a big plot within Night of the Living Dead, the first
it
one.
is, yeah,
Like, it's a huge part of it. Like even the whole geography of the film, like where they're
yep,
in one part and then the above the other part and then below them, like the spatial dynamics, all of that is intentional in that movie. And a
yep.
lot of it is here as well. And so I was like immediately like, did Ramiro watch this? If he didn't, then God, does he steal from it without intending to do so?
You're right.
Because there's a lot that he takes from this. So, yeah, Eric is a dick as she gives birth, but she thinks her husband might still be alive. Eric is a total dick. He takes the Jeep without asking, which is like a dick
Yeah.
move because they only got the one. And he drives it
Yeah.
into town, and he keeps doing this and coming back, and they're trying to have a conversation with him about like, hey, what's the shit with the racism, dude? Like,
Yeah.
we're trying to start a new society. We're trying to leave all that
Yeah.
shit behind. Like,
All that
and they
shit behind.
explain that to him. I do like
Like-
that they explain that to him. Like, they're like, this is our. They're basically explaining utopia to him. Like, this is our chance to make something new that
Yeah.
doesn't need to deal with all of that shit that we just had to deal
Yeah.
with.
All that shit they fucked up, we don't have to keep doing it, like, and he does frame it that way as like, this is their fuck up, not ours, we
Is
have a
little bit.
chance.
Yeah, I was gonna say Michael is a little bit lenient with some of the some of the rules amongst this little commune because the first one being like don't be don't be an asshole, and then
Yeah.
immediately he's an asshole right afterwards. Yeah, I'd be like, all right, you're out. Fuck you.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck it.
Well, and
I wouldn't even kill him. I'd put him in shackles and point in a direction and say, "Fucking walk."
yeah,
Do it old school style. Just keep walking until I don't see you anymore.
yeah,
Just
I'm
walk.
with that.
I don't even have to see you. Just keep on walking. But
Well,
they
and
don't do that.
then you have Charles who, because he's like, he's trying to get some kind of like, what do you say about this? Like, what do you want to
Yeah.
do? And he's like, look, man, I just want to keep on going. That's,
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude, this is something he's probably dealt with his whole life.
I'm
And
sure
now he's
he.
dealing with it again.
I was gonna say, I'm sure as the only black man left alive, I'm sure he's probably going into the situation, probably knowing that he's gonna have to deal with some coded racism, if not just blatant racism.
Yeah.
So the fact that he just kind of gets it thrown in his face right here, right up front. Is
Yeah,
not
like
super
this
surprising.
whole time he's been a valued member. He's,
Oh yeah, he's helped out
he's-
in countless ways.
he's been working on this cornfield. He's been, this little corn crop. He's been doing all this stuff. He's a handyman, so he's definitely been helping out. And he like, and then all of a sudden, here comes this guy who, by the way, is doing very little to nothing.
Oh no, he's just lounging around, sleeping.
Yes. Like, I mean, yeah, I identify with that part, but
Yeah, and he does come
Oh.
back from the city with a gun, so he's got that level of protection on him. So like,
Oh,
if they try
God.
to complain about like what he's doing, he just kind of waves the gun at them. Is like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of
I mean-
defenseless because they're like, well, shit, we don't have a gun. It's
Yeah.
like,
So
Which
yeah.
I would have made him use it. I would have been like, fuck you, you have a gun, fucking pull it out, use it. I'm charging your ass. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
hell
believe
yeah.
you have this. I don't believe you have the bullets.
The second I see a gun, I'm like, oh no, this is beyond. We've gone beyond
Yeah.
the tipping point. Like,
Yeah,
you're
no.
either out or you kill everybody. Like, that's
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah. So the whole
You
gun
can't.
flashing thing is like a power move, which is kind of what his whole thing is. Is like he's trying to exert power over these people who he views as being rather powerless, given like his clout that he has over them. He's
Yeah.
well, first off, he's kind of a racist, in which he holds and eventually kills our friend Charles.
yes,
that-
God damn it.
Yeah. And then he knows that she wants to go back to the city to
This
verify
fucking-
if her husband is dead or not. And he is going to
And-
use that as leverage to get her to basically do whatever he wants her to.
And he does a real good job of manipulating her to think it's her idea.
He does.
And
He
it's
does.
like,
He does.
man,
He does.
this Machiavellian shithead.
Yeah,
Like,
which does not go well for her, which does
No.
get us to a kind of what the fuck ending. So
yes.
she goes along with him to go travel what she thinks is going to be into the city to go check for some supplies and to see if her husband's dead, and then they're going to come back. That obviously is not what his intentions are. His intentions are to
No.
go to the city, grab what they need, and then they're going to go out of there, and he's going to take her with them. And
Yeah.
I guess just he's going to have his way with her is kind of what he implies
That's
and tries to do later on.
yeah.
Um,
Mm.
Yeah, and then on the way there, he of course kills Charles, leaving him to
Yeah.
die, leaving him dead on the outside, just like nothing, like an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
So awful.
unkind way to die. Yes.
For real.
And then
Like,
he goes in, he takes her into the city, and they go their separate ways for a little while as she kind of goes and tries to find her husband. Once again, very stealing from a lot of horror movies here. Get their scenes from this with her going from room to room. Now the skeletons look a little bit like look a little
like
silly.
a science
Yeah, they're very
building.
clearly very white skeletons where, the bones are not like decayed or aged, there's just like a white
Yeah.
little skeleton hand. It's kind of
It's,
it's a little telling of the budget, but
it's been
we get it.
treated. It's
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of what's that shit, was it the ghost in Mr. Chicken?
oh,
Yeah,
that's
it
oh
kind of
man.
reminds me of like the skeletons in that where it's just like, okay, you're kind of silly. But like
Yeah.
uh yeah, it is, it is what it is here.
It
But she
is. I
does
mean,
eventually verify that her husband is in fact dead. And the city is very
yeah.
creepy, and the way it's
Oh
filmed
yeah.
is very cool. Um I like early attempts at like her walking into the lens and the camera kind of fading as she does it. Then we get her
Yeah.
POV. That was a pretty cool little camera trick.
That
The
was.
second time it's better than the first time. The first time you can see that she's looking at the camera because her eyes get cross-eyed. It's kind of a little
Oh,
silly.
yep.
And then the second time it's a little bit better, where it's like, okay, you pulled it off a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I do like
I
the
mean,
attempts at being artsy in 1951. Let's give John
oh
Wayne something
yeah.
more to sit through that's going to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah, so she finally finds that Stephen, her husband, is dead,
yes.
and as she discovers this, Eric is just laying on the horn, telling her to hurry the fuck up because he's got
Yeah,
places to
right.
go.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
eh,
No, it's you gotta.
yeah,
He's got appointments to keep. You
he
know.
does, and yeah, this is where the film gets darker as he then now
Yep.
confirms what his intentions were to basically like, I'm going to take you with me, and I'm going to rape you and have sex with you until you make me a baby. And
Yeah.
then God knows what I'm going to do with that baby because I'm a pretty fucking weird dude.
Yeah.
As he's confirmed thus far. That of course
Oh yeah.
doesn't happen as in the process of getting away from him. She
She
rips
rips
off part of
open
his
his shirt.
shirt and
Yep.
reveals that he also is suffering from some radiation poisoning. I guess
Yep.
this
And he
is a
makes
little
a
silly.
very unmanly sound.
Yeah, it's a little silly. It's a little silly as he runs away from her. It's a little goofy.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
It's
It was a little bit like, oh well, they probably used a second
that
take there, but hey,
I
whatever.
was gonna
It's
say,
fine.
oh, that's the sound. They're okay with that sound. They didn't want to ADR that at all. Like it was
Nah,
like,
no.
like ah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
And
like,
so
I mean,
we,
I would make that noise, but I
yeah.
shouldn't be in a movie. You know.
So our villain is
Well,
defeated, and this is
yeah.
where the movie becomes once again very 50s because instead of the movie kind of wrapping up and her returning to Michael and okay, they're going to rebuild with her and him. Started the movie with them, we ended the movie with them. Kind of get there, but we got to go through some dark paths before we
Oh
do that.
man, this part
So yeah, this
is.
part is fucked up. So she then
I
wonders
didn't
this.
think they were gonna go there,
I
honestly.
didn't either. I really didn't. Yeah. So she wanders the city aimlessly until she eventually finds herself on the outside of the city. No idea really where she's going, it seems like. And then she kind of
Yeah,
just
no.
starts. We get like intercuts of her, like in the baby, like sleeping in nature. She feeding him food,
Yeah.
harvesting berries, whatever she can find. Just kind of like basically hiking for we don't know how long. It could be a day, it could be hours. It seems like it's at least a day. But I honestly don't know how many days. You don't know how many days pass in this movie. Period. It's very disorienting.
You're right. I didn't even
Like
consider
at
that.
no point in time do we know how many days it's been. Has it been weeks, months, years? I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. So in that way, it does kind of accomplish that like disorienting feeling, which a lot of people felt during COVID. That like aimlessness when you don't have anything to do for days on end, and days become weeks, and weeks become months, and you're just like, oh fuck, it's August, and you're like, oh, what did it become August?
Yeah.
'Cause it's
I was
like, well, I
about to
didn't have
say,
anything to do.
I was gonna say that's just me constantly. Like
Yeah, the
you
movie does a
merely
wonderful
adopted
job of
the
that. You merely
I'm like
adopted.
the bane of shut-ins. Like you merely adopted the indoor
That's
I was
awesome.
born in it, molded
Uh,
by it.
that is amazing. Lord. Yeah, so she wonders and wonders and wonders, and you think like, okay, it's gonna have a classic Hollywood ending. She's gonna wander back to Michael, and he's gonna save her and the baby, and they're gonna live happily ever after.
Yeah, that's what I
That
was
isn't
waiting for.
exactly same. That is not what happens. Instead,
Oh,
she wakes up, and the baby does not.
that
And
fucked me up.
I
I'm
I
not
was gonna
gonna
say,
lie.
oh no, it's because I think it's like infant death syndrome.
I think
It's
so,
what
but
we're
I mean,
supposed
it
to
also
gather
could have
from it, but
been
could have been
it could
it
have been
slept on its
succumbing
stomach.
to but it also could have been a succumbing to the radiation, but they
It
don't
could have been the
show
radiation. No, they don't
like we
ever
don't
tell you what the baby. All you see is her literally panicking and just constantly saying like, "There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong." But there's like that's why I thought it might be infant death syndrome
Oh,
because like she keeps
yeah.
saying, "But there's nothing wrong."
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything wrong, you know. But she keeps like
Yeah.
basically like telling herself that like, but like I did everything I was supposed to do, and you're dead. Like, how did
Yeah.
that happen? And it's like, God, yeah, that's a mind fuck.
It really is. Oh
Yeah.
man, this that's why I was like this kind of elevated this movie. I'm
Yeah,
not saying I enjoyed that happened. I'm saying that it took a turn for me.
it
I
does.
was so
Yeah.
blown away by it. I was like,
Yeah, that twist ending you don't see coming, especially because it's like, oh, this is a 50s movie.
yeah,
They didn't do that in the 50s. Oh no.
they
And it gets even darker
oh
because she doesn't just bury the baby there and wander back to civilization. No, she carries the dead baby with her. And she
yeah,
just continues wandering and wandering and wandering in the rain and in the storms up and down the hills
it's
of California or wherever the fuck we are.
yeah,
Endlessly until eventually she finds herself just stranded on the side of the road.
yeah,
And then Michael, who earlier in the movie tells us that he goes hunting every day, even though he doesn't have anything to hunt for, kind of setting up Chekhov's hunting trip because he's eventually going to run into her on one of his hunting trips where he finds nothing
yeah.
once again. And as he sees Rosemary on the side of the road, he runs over to her and she tells him the baby's
This
dead.
yeah, and it's so that's all she says, and it's like,
Yeah.
man, this movie,
Yeah. It's fucked up. Yeah.
like
Once again,
right?
Michael, our hero, also tried to commit rape at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
Game of Thrones levels of character gray areas here, where it's like, god damn, like, do I want to
yeah.
root for this person? And Jesus Christ,
Yeah, I mean, oh no, this is such a conflicting, like, well, how the fuck am I, like it's because
uh,
you look at movies back then and it's very
yeah,
clear. It's very easy to see, like, I know who I'm rooting for. This is obvious, you
yeah,
know. But in
yeah.
this
Because I
one,
mean,
I mean,
as
this,
a film, as a language, was only just like, I mean, really, like sound and film was just in its infancy at this point. It
yeah,
still is, if you want to go historically wise. We're only 100 years in, but like at this point in time, very young filmmaking is.
oh yeah,
And some of the choices you see here with not only the direction but also the writing is really cool because like you just don't expect that from a movie
no,
like this in 1951. You know,
no,
you don't expect that. Now we do get to our happy ending, as he tends to the
yeah,
crops and she eventually comes out at the very end. And this is the what the fuck ending is like. There's no like reconciliation between them. She just says like, "I want to join you," and
yeah,
cut to Bible verse.
yep.
That's it. That's the
And
end. Out.
I was like, wow, wow,
Yeah, a different ending than I was expecting. I really after that
yeah,
baby death and all of
fuck,
that, it's like I thought we were going to have a lot more, but no, we just kind of wrap it
yeah,
up right there with on the farm. Like, you know, baby's dead, but I want to be with you, Michael.
yeah, like.
Yeah, that's the end of
Oh god.
the movie.
That's it.
Like we said at the beginning of the podcast, a bleak ass movie.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean like the bleak ones really give you that feel
Yeah.
for the post-apocalypse. Like it kind of
Oh yeah.
reminded me of like When the Wind Blows,
I was
how
about to
bleak
say the
that
same
was.
thing. Yeah, I was about to say
Yep.
up there with When the Wind
Yeah.
Blows for like, God damn, this is hard.
It is. It's a tough one. But it's
Yeah.
also kind of beautiful in a way,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
and also like I don't know, it's the way they did it was so awesome, and the introduction to all these actors that I'd never seen before, but now
Mhm.
I'm just like, I really like them, like
Yeah.
I want to see the movies that they're in, I want to see more of them because I don't know, they moved me here.
Yeah,
And
this is a really really well done movie. It's one of those movies that like last week when I mentioned it, I'd always been told underrated '50s sci-fi movie. I was like, okay,
oh yeah,
I'm
no,
very
this
interested.
should be up there. Like honestly, when I think I said it earlier, but I feel like to me this is definitely like top 2 or 3 movies, like in the top 3 of any of the movies we've talked about.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
easily one of the best. I mean,
yeah. I definitely
it's
think so as
so
well.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the better movies that we've talked about of our 100 and something movies so far. A
Yeah.
standout of the 1950s, a standout of very early sci-fi. It's definitely soft sci-fi from the
Yeah.
1950s as well, and very character driven, really intense writing, really
Oh
good
yeah.
stuff here. And the
Some real
visuals aren't,
subversive shit.
yeah, some real subversive shit hiding here as well. And the visuals aren't too bad either. It takes some heavy
Oh
influence from like
yeah.
some 50s French movies that were getting popular at the time. And
Yep.
definitely has a unique visual style that it's going for. Not hurting it is the Frank Lloyd Wright house kind of being a feature in the film pretty prominently
Yeah.
because it's a big fan of his architecture as well, so kind of is something to look at there. I really like this movie. If you haven't seen it and you're in a good headspace to watch it, 5 is on Tubi. It is a good time. It's not very
Yes.
long. We've talked about it once again longer than the movie is. Um, but it is a really really well done movie from the 1950s if you're looking for something a little older than maybe you usually watch. Those of you younger listeners, definitely one to seek out because it's an interesting watch, especially one of those
It
movies where
really
you can
is.
kind of see where a lot of people who make movies you have probably seen stole a lot of their ideas from. Is I believe
Absolutely.
we have
Oh yeah.
found one of those primary sources here.
Absolutely.
So next week we will be back once again to talk about a movie from the 1950s. This one from 1959 called "The World, the Flesh, and the Devil," starring a young Harry Belafonte. So we'll talk about that next week. We'll see y'all then.
Take it easy.
Hot damn, college boy. Thank you for coming and watching the show this week. Every single week, we come back and talk about a post apocalyptic movie. And it's a good time. Sometimes we talk about extremely obscure movies that virtually no one really else talks about. Sometimes we talk about mainstream stuff that pretty much everyone talks about. So, either way, you can come back and get some enjoyment. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. If you did, you could give us a like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching elsewhere, then rate the show 4 or 5 stars, whatever you felt. Leave a comment or anything of the sort. It helps with the engagement and all of that fun stuff that people always talk about at the end of these episodes. So thank you sincerely for listening, if you have listened, and thank you. I don't know what else to say. Just a simple thank you. Bye.